I think when these companies do something wrong, obviously they try and make up for it, listen to the fans. I think that's like keenly important when it comes down to being a positive force for gaming. And and I'll give a quick example that was something that maybe seems silly to some people, but obviously it's something that other people really wanted to see. And that is the idea that there was an end of the year wrap up for Xbox, right? Like Xbox was doing that for a little while, where it kind of tells you how much time you put into Xbox that year, what games you played the most, all that kind of stuff. The amount of achievements you got, just kind of a good breakdown of what you've gamed with over that previous year. And they stopped it randomly. PlayStation was still doing it. A lot of Xbox fans complained, so they brought it back this year, and I think it's pretty cool. Being able to see what you were able to accomplish and things like that. Microsoft is learning from their mistakes. They've done a lot of different things, and they're actually now betting on someone named Mina Kato, who is a PlayStation veteran who grew up playing Nintendo classics like Donkey Kong, and they're actually helping that's finally going to drive a wedge into the world's #3 gaming market. Kato helped build Sony Group's Corp's console into a dominant presence in the games industry over 2 decades with PlayStation. Now, since this past July, she's taken on a far more daunting task, selling Xbox to studios who swear by Sony and Nintendo. She's counting on her deal-making skills, Microsoft's global reach, and her own local connections to finally make Xbox a relevant player. Microsoft's new director of Japan partnerships is trying to reverse years of failure. Market researcher Famitsu estimates Xbox has sold just over 500,000 units of its latest consoles in Japan, far less than Nintendo's 31 million Switch sales or PlayStation 5's 4.8 million units, but she does see room for a third player to grow. And I quote, "Japanese publishers will definitely need us in expanding their business. It would be difficult to do that just with PlayStation." Now, the Xbox unit led by Phil Spencer has been stepping up its foray into the world's third largest economy, with the executive in September saying players can expect top-tier Japanese titles as Xbox exclusives in the future. His company has lagged behind mainstays like Sony and Nintendo, but Kato brings the local experience and connections that it has long coveted. The executive said she was approached by Microsoft several times before she finally agreed to join. Kato immediately becomes one of Microsoft's highest-profile Xbox executives in Japan, and her main role will be to steer dialogue with local creators and spearhead new initiatives as well. She said she took on the job because she wanted to build a better bridge, and also bridge the gap between Japan and the rest of the world. And she's working alongside Xbox President Sarah Bond, one of a number of senior female executives at Microsoft, which Kato said was a surprise that made me happy when I joined the company. Now, among her duties, Kato is having daily conversations with local game studios and ferrying feedback back to Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, Washington, about topics as basic as developer documentation, translation, or as large-scale as global promotions campaign to boost new titles. Xbox lost trust among Japanese studios during the Xbox One era, as the company didn't consider Japan an important market. Spencer has said that approach was wrong-headed and has made a deliberate effort to visit the country more often, attending the Tokyo Game Show this past year. He also made a surprise appearance at Square Enix Holding Company's event in July to shake hands with Japanese publisher president Mr. Kairu. Microsoft offered huge scalability to Japanese publishers, as there's virtually no country without Windows PCs. USB securities analyst Kenji Fukuyama said, "When it comes to access to game fans in engaging and emerging countries, Sony and Nintendo just can't compete with Xbox. Microsoft will be a good partner for Japanese publisher at a time when they're trying to improve profits by releasing games in emerging countries through personal computers." He added that Capcom, as well, the country's best performing game developer stock this past year, has tapped exactly that strategy by re-releasing its classic titles at negligible marginal costs on PCs and markets that never previously had access to them. Kato doesn't expect negotiations with partners to be easy and anticipates there'll be plenty of adaptation required for Microsoft to increase its relevance in Japan's games industry. She said, "We face a challenge, and that means there are still a lot of things that can and should change." So, nice to see that they're going after this anyway. Like, for me personally, I think, you have to try to break into the markets. All of us always go, well, Xbox is really only relevant in North America and, like, in the UK. But you can't just accept that if you're a company. You just have to keep trying to break into the fold there and go, okay, well, we are doing our absolute best to make sure that we can actually have a place in gaming outside of just, you know, North America and the UK. And I think that is a smart plan to have. And listen, Microsoft to have Japanese exclusives or whatever, just more of a presence, you know, like some of these games, the Sega games, the you know, the Atlas games, what have you. I think having, you know, some of those games launching like what we've seen in Game Pass, especially day one, I think that changes things tremendously. Not only does it help, but it also keeps things from being exclusively on PlayStation, which I think is like this added bonus that people don't realize, because at the end of the day, every game that you keep from being a PlayStation exclusive is going to help your cause and things like that. So I do think that Microsoft is onto the right thing where this is concerned. And listen, they'll continue to kind of grow and do things that appeal to a wider audience. I've long since realized, and I've mentioned this numerous times in numerous videos, there's more gamers to the world than just me. So clearly people are going to want to be able to play video games that maybe I wouldn't be interested in. I'd be interested in playing some video games that some others wouldn't be interested in. It kind of just all goes round and round like that. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. I could be happy for someone getting to play a game that they enjoy, like maybe Microsoft locks down a Souls type game or whatever. I have zero personal interest in any type of Souls games or anything like that. What I do have is a long interest in, you know, Microsoft having the type of content that really just kind of appeals to, you know, a wide audience, you know, and I think that is the thing that most of us are going to have to kind of understand. And, you know, and it's going to come down to Microsoft having some of these things to kind of talk to people about, and that really kind of piques their interest in things, you know. Hopefully that is something that we will get before too long. But yeah, like, nice to see Microsoft step it up here. You know, I don't know how much the fortunes will change, but I'm very much willing to kind of wait and see, and hopefully we can see Microsoft become a real player worldwide, because the competition for that would be absolutely incredible. And, you know, that's what I want to see from Microsoft. I want to see the Xbox from like the 360 era, when it was like take no prisoners. Yes, things have changed a little bit with what they're trying to do, but that whole take no prisoners, let's advertise, let's get the best games, let's make sure that games play better on Xbox. You know, I think that really is what could help Xbox go forward. And still, will they ever sell as much plastic as PlayStation? I doubt it, but they could at least be in the game. And the closer things are, the better are for all of us gamers. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.